One of the first things when you're telling your story is you start with what I call the KISS metric. Keep it simple, stupid. That's something that we learn a lot about in writing, in journalism, and in other ways of communicating a story. And one of the most important things to remember is you are passionate and know everything you need to know about your idea, your business, your startup. You have to be able to extend that passion to others without drowning them in details that they don't need to know. So first, start by being able to tell people clearly and concisely what your business idea is. If you can do it in a tweet, that's 140 characters, then you're in really good shape. If it takes you more than a minute to give people an idea of what your business idea is about, that's too long. So you have to be able to refine it, focus it down, and get it really clear. Think about a target in a bullseye, for example. And when you can do that, then you can build everything else you say about your business off of that 140 character pitch. How do you take your great idea, tell it to anybody on the street, and they know exactly what you mean? No matter how technical it is, no matter what it is. Well, part of the challenge is to being able to give people something they can relate to. So the first tool is to think about, all right, well, how can I explain this to somebody in a way that they would understand? What are most people familiar with? Can I give them an analogy of some kind? So if my idea is more technical in nature, can I say, well, you know, my concept is all about chickens. It's like chickens. And then you explain what chickens do, and maybe it's like laying eggs. And maybe that's really not your business, but at the end of the day, at the end of what's everything's done, person walks out with an egg in their hand. They'll understand that. You have to be able to tell a fun story to make it simple for someone, especially in more technical ones. For some ideas, it makes a lot of sense. So for some of you who are going to have this great idea, a lot of people are like, oh, I get it, and they're going to get it right away. And that piece of your story will be a lot easier to tell. But oftentimes I see people with ideas that just take a longer time to explain. And telling a story in a way that breaks it down even to steps. So you can say the first step is this, and then the second step is this, and then the third step, you get the product. Then people go, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. One of the great ways is to look at what other people have done. Even in Designbook, you can go and look through what people have posted. And one way is, can you understand what they're talking about? And that's one good test for yourself. If you go through a set of the ones in Designbook and 5 of them make sense to you and 20 of them don't, then what were the attributes about the 5 that made sense to you? So that you can say, wow, okay, I really get that, because that makes, oh, I understand that. I see what they're doing there. And then for the other ones that you don't understand, what is it that they're missing, and what do they not tell you a good story about? We were talking a little bit about a marketing tool called HubSpot, for example. I think they're a great example of somebody who's doing it right. HubSpot has a very complex tool that they're providing for people to use. They break it down really easily to help you understand exactly what it is that they will do for you. So that's a great example. I would say, not that I like to actually tell people to go look at Apple products, because I'm kind of a Google gal myself, but Apple does a really good job of explaining to you, this is this thing and this is how you will use it. If you think about what they did with the iPod when it first came out, think about the imagery that they had. They had a person, a silhouette, with headphones in their ears, dancing around to music. You knew what it was immediately. You didn't even need words. They told their story simply and clearly. Purpose and passion, especially in a startup, is really important. If I'm going to give you money, or if I'm going to give you my time to help you with a product or an idea that you have, if you come off in a video that you're telling me and you are reading to me, and you are reading slowly, and I can tell that you're actually reading words, and you're more worried about the camera than you are about communicating what you love and what was your inspiration behind this, then I'm not going to really want to invest in you or invest my time in you. If you can tell me your story as if I was sitting around the kitchen table with you, or we were at a diner together, and you wanted to tell me, and you got really fired up, and you were writing on the back of the napkin, and I could get in a conversation with you, that passion, that tells me that this is something you're going to stick with, and it's something that tells me that I have a chance to get into something that's really cool, and that my time will be used well. And that purpose and that passion, I think they go hand in hand, because without your passion of your idea and what you love about it and what gets you up at night getting excited, then I'm not going to be able to understand the why of it either. So it's got to start with where you are with your heart and soul, because there's going to be times where everything will be dark and scary, and the only thing that gets you through that is your passion.